Hello friends, this is Achal here. We will continue with chapter number 2 of 11th standard GSEB statistics presentation of data. In the last session, we discussed the types of data, how they are collected. Now, it is very important that how this data are represented, right? So the contents here in this lesson are the classification, the types of classification, tabulation, the diagrams, importance and limitations. First of all, let's know what is the meaning of classification. What is the meaning and why it is necessary? Now, basically, the data which we collect that can be of two kinds. One is quantitative data and qualitative data. Quantitative data means the data which are in numbers, or I can say which represent something quantitative, right? So, for example, if I'm having data about population of certain areas, that is quantitative data. Qualitative data is also a numeric figure, but it can be like some qualitative characteristics. We will discuss what is qualitative data in detail. First of all, let us focus on quantitative data. Quantitative variable, basically there are two kinds, discrete variable and continuous variable. Variable basically means the data which we collect. They are called as variables because they change, they have different values, so they are called variables. So quantitative variables, they are of two kinds, discrete variable and continuous variable. Now, what is discrete variable? Basically, when there are no classes given, they are called discrete variable. And if some classes are given, then it is called continuous variable. If the data is represented in the class form, that is called continuous variable. Uh, I will discuss in the next session when we will come to the numerical sums, what are continuous variable and what are discrete variable. Basically, if the variable is assuming certain definite value is called discrete variable. Here the example is given that value of number of children per family. So number of children per family that we can count. So that is the example of discrete variable, right? The number of accidents or road, that is also discrete variable. Continuous variable means uh, which can take different values. Also, fractional values can also be taken. They are called continuous variables, like height of the person in centimeter or inches or feet. That is continuous variable. So that is a difference between discrete variable and continuous variable, right? Now, the thing is that whenever we obtain any data in population inquiry or sample inquiry, that is called raw data or ungrouped data because these data are not classified properly. They are ungrouped one. They are haphazardly arranged. So it becomes very difficult to analyze those kind of data. It is very necessary that these data should be collected, uh, should be arranged in a systematic and very short form. So when you arrange this ungrouped data or data into a proper form, that is called basically classification of data. And the data thus we obtain, that is called classified data. So what is basically classified data? The process of, let me highlight the point so that you will understand. The process of arranging ungrouped or raw data in a proper form is called classification of data, and the data thus obtained are called classified data. Here, one example is given. There is one table which is showing the daily demand of commodity during particular week. The demand of the commodity is 8, 10, 12, 16, and the number of days are given, like how many days are there wherein the demand of the commodity is 8. So it is counted as 3. The demand of commodity is 10. So only there is one day where the demand of the commodity is 10. The demand of commodity is 12. So there are 2 days wherein the demand of commodity is 12 and so on. Right. So these data They are arranged in proper table form. They are classified. They are not haphazardly, I can say, presented. So this is called classification of data, right? Now, the reason being that why this data should be arranged very systematically or in short form, right? So here the reasons are given. Here the you can see the short meaning of classification is also given. The method of representing raw data into systematic and short form is classification. So here you see the table is given. So here it is the raw data is arranged in systematic and short form. That is called classification. Okay. When this data is collected for the first time, it may be haphazardly, I can say, written or presented. Like whenever the primary data is collected, it can be noted down on a piece of paper or tablet or computer, laptop, whatever. So it might be in sentence form, but then it is shown in a classified form that is called classification. So basically, the reasons why this data can be classified or why it should be classified. The first reason that so that the data seems to be very simple, short, and attractive. Right? You can see it is looking very attractive. It does not seem to bore a person, right? A person will not get bored to see this data, but if the same data is represented in, I can say, sentence form, then it would be very, I can say, boring, or it would be difficult for a person to understand. Then what is the next thing? Easy comparison between the various characteristics of data can be done, right? That is, here you can make a comparison when you have data, right? Suppose here we have demand of commodity A. Say, for example, if I'm having data about demand of commodity B, then both the data tables can be compared, right? And even internal comparison is possible that when the demand of commodity is 8, there are there were 3 days. When the demand of commodity is 10, there is only 1 day. So like internal comparison is also possible and external comparison is also possible. Third thing is that when these kind of data are presented in a classified form, it will save time, money, and labor, isn't it? Because if the same kind of data is represented in sentence form, you will require more time, more money, and more labor into it, right? So next, you will get the information very easily, right? It is very easy. If I ask you a question, how many days were there when the demand of commodity was 10? So clearly it is visible from the table that the demand of commodity is 10. Below that you will find how many number of days? Only 1 day. So that is how it is helpful. So these are the four important reasons why classification is necessary. Now the thing is, you know what is classification. Now what kind of classification could be there? So here basically you will see first the classification of quantitative data, and secondly you will see the classification of qualitative data. We have seen that there are two kinds of data, right? Quantitative data and qualitative data. So let's see first the classification of quantitative data. Here one data is given that what are the number of children in 100 families. One survey is done, and of here the sample of 100 families selected from a region and information regarding number of children per family is obtained. Here basically a survey is done that of 100 families, that how many children they have, right? So here the number of children is written 0, 1, 2, 3, right? And the number of families. So कितने लोग हैं जिनके घर में एक भी बच्चा नहीं है, तो the number of family is 10. कितने बच्चे हैं यहाँ पे एक, तो ऐसे कितने फैमिलीज हैं? 35। कितने बच्चे हैं यहाँ पे? टू, तो ऐसे कितने फैमिलीज हैं? 40। कितने फैमिलीज हैं जिनके घर में तीन बच्चे हैं? दैट इज 15, राइट? सो see, this is the numerical classification or frequency distribution, right? Now, this is the example of quantitative data. Now, how the qualitative data can be classified? See, this data is a qualitative 100 families and their core occupation. Here, families are into certain occupation. Occupation means the economic activities they are doing through which they earn money and satisfy their needs. Right? Every person in this world does economic activity, right? So, how many people are there who are into farming economic activity? The families are 30. How many families are there who are into business sector? 25, and so on. Service labor. So, this is called qualitative data. Okay. So, this is the example of classification of qualitative data or tabulation of data. Clear? So, basically, when the raw or ungrouped data are classified, they can be classified as qualitative data or quantitative data. Now here, first of all, we are going to see the classification of quantitative data, and we are going to see numericals also based on that. As discussed previously, the variables falling under quantitative data category are discrete and continuous variable. So whenever you classify discrete variable, it is called discrete frequency distribution. And when you classify continuous variable, it is called continuous frequency distribution. Understood? तो जब हम discrete variable को classify करेंगे तो उसको discrete frequency distribution बोलेंगे, और जब हम continuous variable को classify करेंगे तो उसको हम continuous frequency distribution बोलेंगे. See, यहाँ पे एक example दिया है. That is on word frequency, right? Basically this is frequency. See, this is frequency. इसको frequency बोलते हैं. ठीक. 0 चिल्ड्रन, तो ऐसे कितने फैमिली है? 10. एक बच्चा है, ऐसे कितने फैमिली है? 30. सो बेसिकली ये जो है उसको फ्रीक्वेंसी बोलते हैं, ये जो है उसको फ्रीक्वेंसी बोलते हैं, इसको एक्स बोलते हैं. जब समझ आएंगे तब अच्छे से पता चलेगा. यहाँ पे एक एग्जांपल दिया है कि हाउ मेनी एक्सीडेंट्स पर डे are occurring on a particular road of city. There is one particular road, and how many accidents per day on a particular road is taking place. So here the data is given. Now this is the raw data or ungrouped data, right? We have to classify this 0, 1, 3, 2, 0. ये जो फिगर्स दिख रही है वो सब अनग्रुप डेटा है. यहाँ पे कोई टाइप का क्लासिफिकेशन नहीं. इसमें से हम कुछ एनालिसिस नहीं कर पाएंगे, राइट? कि एक दिन के अंदर कितने एक्सीडेंट्स हो रहे हैं, 0, 1, 3, 2, राइट? तो ये डेटा को हम कैसे क्लासिफाई करेंगे? लाइक दिस, राइट? Number of accidents, just look at the table right now. We are going to solve it. How we are going to solve, I will tell you. Number of accidents, x, that is represented by x. How many days are there related to the accidents? That is written over here, right? Here there is one important word, that is range. What is range? Maximum value minus minimum value, right? So first of all, Let's start with the sum. So यहाँ पे हम heading देंगे just give the heading table showing frequency distribution of number of accidents per day in a city, right? So here, just look at the example first. ये एक्सीडेंट्स के नंबर है कि कितने एक्सीडेंट्स हो रहे हैं पर्टिकुलर रोड पर, राइट, एक दिन में। ये जो इंडिविजुअल डेटा है ये डे का है, मतलब एक दिन था जहाँ पे 0 एक्सीडेंट था, दूसरे दिन पे 1 एक्सीडेंट था, तीसरा दिन था उसमें 3 एक्सीडेंट हुआ, सेकेंड डे था, सॉरी फोर्थ डे था उसमें 2 एक्सीडेंट्स हुए, फिर अगेन उसके नेक्स्ट डे 0 एक्सीडेंट। तो इस तरीके से ये डेटा दिया है, ठीक है। तो बेस्ड ऑन दैट we will make columns. So how to make columns? Number of accidents. Just a minute. So here we have the column number of accidents that is divided by x, right? Now यहाँ पे अगर आप टेबल देखोगे तो मिनिमम वैल्यू यहाँ पे कितना दिख रहा है, 0। नाउ ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट द मैक्सिमम वैल्यू. व्हाट इज द मैक्सिमम वैल्यू ओवर हियर? I can see it is 5, right? So first of all, we will find the range. Now, what is range? So here we can show the calculation somewhere below. You can show the calculation. I am showing the calculation over here. You can show below the table. Range, it's A. Range is equal to maximum value minus minimum value, right? What is maximum value? 5. What is minimum value? 0. So the range is 5. So basically here you see, let me put the size to chip. So here we will start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so this is how you show the number of axes x. ये जो डेटा है 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, यहाँ पे जो फिगर्स है 0, 1 भी है, 2 भी है, 3 भी है, 4 भी है और 5 भी है. 5 से बड़ा कोई वैल्यू ही नहीं है. सो 0 to 5 I have shown, right? Now let's continue our example. Here we will write down tally marks. Tally for the tally marks, and the final column is number of days, right? Days, that is called F. Frequency F. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, F और X, that is very important. Let me make this kind of lines because so that I don't commit mistake. You should complete the table with pencil and scale. Do not use pen, right? Draw with proper diagram with right. So now let's start the sum. How to do the sums? ये number of days हमने क्यों लिखे हैं? Because ये actually हम count करेंगे, right? मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी समझाया कि ये जो डेटा है वो इंडिविजुअल डेज को कंसीडर कर रहा है. इंडिविजुअल डे का डेटा दिया गया है कि पहले दिन में 0 एक्सीडेंट हुआ, दूसरे दिन में 1, तीसरे दिन में 3 एक्सीडेंट हुए, लाइक दैट, राइट? तो हमें फिजिकली हमें ये जानना है कि ऐसे कितने दिन थे जहाँ पे 0 एक्सीडेंट हुआ, जहाँ पे 1 एक्सीडेंट हुआ, 2 हुआ, 3 हुआ, 4 हुआ, 5 हुआ. तो ये अननेसेसरी रिपीटेशन है डेटा का, लॉन्ग डेटा वो शॉर्ट हो जाएगा, राइट? नाउ इसीलिए हम उसके लिए टेलीमार्क्स यूज करेंगे. नाउ ये कैसे करना है इसमें देखते हैं. नाउ पहला हम फिगर देखते हैं. Whenever you are doing this sum, just make a tick mark once you are done with that data, right? जैसे कि हमारा पहला और एक ही ऑर्डर पकड़ना है. सपोज मैं हॉरिजॉन्टली जा रहा हूँ तो हम हॉरिजॉन्टली जाएंगे, तो, अगर हम वर्टिकली जा रहे हैं तो हम वर्टिकली जाएंगे, राइट? तो मैं हॉरिजॉन्टली जा रहा हूँ पहला डेटा क्या है 0। तो अभी हम वो टेबल ओपन करते हैं जो हमने बनाया है। तो 0 एक्सीडेंट है यहाँ पे, तो यहाँ पे एक टेलीमेट जाएगा। आई विल मेक वन। ओके, नाउ दूसरा डेटा क्या है 2, सॉरी 1। तो हम अभी 1 कहाँ है, वेरी वन ओवर हियर। सो यहाँ पे एक मर्ज है, राइट। इट इज वेरी सिंपल, कुछ करना नहीं है हमें ज्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड। जो डेटा जहाँ पे फॉलोअर है वहां पे टिक मार्क करना है, मार्क करना है, राइट। एक 1 लिखना है। व्हाट इज नेक्स्ट, 3, राइट, 3। सो ये कहाँ पे है, राइट। सो लाइकवाइज वी आर गोइंग टू सी। अभी मैं वापस टॉगल नहीं कर रहा हूँ विंडो, 3 तक हमारा हुआ है, ठीक है ना। नेक्स्ट आप टेक्स्ट में देख सकते हो और ये वीडियो साथ में देख सकते हो। नेक्स्ट वैल्यू है आपका 2, तो 2 कहाँ पे है, देन इट इज 0। सो हियर इट इज, देन 3। सो अगेन आई विल ओवर हियर, देन 4, 4 कहाँ है, देन 5, 5 कहाँ है यहाँ, देन 0। आपकी फिंगर बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है इसमें, अदरवाइज आप मिस्टेक करोगे। एक ही वैल्यू को, नेक्स्ट है 1, मैं यहाँ पे कंसिडर कर रहा हूँ, फिर नेक्स्ट है 0, फिर उसके बाद है 2, तो देन अगेन 0। नाउ सी, ये 0 फिफ्थ टाइम आया है, 4 हुआ, तो देर इज वन रूल के फिफ्थ लाइन आप इस तरीके से स्ट्रेच करो, तो हमें पता चला कि एक 5 का बंडल पूरा हो। ठीक है, जैसे जैसे आपका खत्म होता है वैसे वैसे टिक करते जाओ, तो एक ही नंबर बार बार काउंट नहीं। अभी हम आए हैं 1 पे, तो हम यहाँ पे, देन 3। In earlier sums, or I can say when you start these kind of sums, be very patient and do this very slowly so that you don't come in mistake. Right? First row is over. Now I am coming to the next row. मैं फर्स्ट रो कंप्लीट किया, अभी मैं यहाँ पे आ गया, तो क्या है 3। Okay. तो 3 कहाँ पे है, ये 3, देन इट इज 0। गिव सम स्पेस, ये 5 का बंडल कंप्लीट हुआ है, नेक्स्ट बंडल स्टार्ट करेंगे 0, देन 2, देन 1, देन 2, then 4, then 5, then 0, then 1। अगेन फिफ्थ है तो हम ऐसे कट करेंगे, then 0, then 2, अगेन 2। फिफ्थ है तो ऐसे कट करेंगे, then again it is 2, then 0, then 1, leave some space, one bundle is completed, so then 2, then 1। Done। तो हमने जो भी हमारे पास डेटा थे वो सारे डेटा के लिए हमें टैली मार्क्स यूज कर दिए। नाउ वी विल काउंट, right, and we will write down the total over here, right। We have to make one more row over here, and here we will write the total, right। now ये जब भी लाइन ऐसे होते तो एक बंडल कंप्लीट होता है, एक बंडल में 5 टैली मार्क्स होते हैं, तो दिस इज 5 प्लस दिस इज 1 2 3 एंड 4, so 5 plus 4, this is 5 plus 2 7, this is 5 plus 2 7, this is 4, This is 2. This is 2. Now count here. You can use calculator, right? 9 plus 7, it is 16. 16 plus 7, that is 23. 23 plus 4, 27. 27 plus 2, 29. And 29 plus 2, that is 31. So the answer is 31 total, I mean to say. And the range is maximum value minus minimum value that we have already counted. 5 is the maximum value, 0 is the minimum value, so it is 5. Right? So the range of the data is 5. 5 minus 0, that is 5. Clear? So this is how this sum of discrete frequency distribution is to be done. It is very easy. Right? Now we'll look at the solution which is given in the textbook. Right? So ये nicely present किया हुआ है फ्री हैंड से किया तो थोड़ा आपका भी इस तरीके से अच्छा लगेगा व्हेन यू यूज पेंसिल एंड स्केल अंदर का जो डेटा है आप पेन इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो उसके लिए बट जो आप लाइंस ड्रॉ कर रहे हो वो पेंसिल से आप करोगे स्केल से करोगे फ्री हैंड से नहीं करोगे राइट सो दैट इज ऑल फॉर today's video. I will share the next video and we will continue the same topic. We will do illustration 1. Okay. I hope you have understood this concept. Just revise it. And in the next video, we will continue with illustration 1. Thank you and have a nice day.